Okay, so back in the middle of a game between Elmikkino and Gynoidpoet. So Elmikkino's on Creature Vomit, and despite what the board looks like, it's only turn 2.
Yeah, it is only turn 2. This board does look scary, but it's only 2 power. Oh, sorry, 3 power. Forgive me.
Yeah, but you know what Creature Vomit can do? Like, they can easily just convert this board into a lot of damage.
Yeah, especially with Gynoidpoet not having a 2-drop to prevent any attacks. This Amber Hills will be able to fetch Mozarkath. The Brothers of Reunion is going to get a lot of hits.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess the Brothers Union plus the Mozarkath are kind of fighting with each other. Chigal named Soulbreaker. Oh.
It does kind of seem like we're going to have Mozarkath winning the game pretty quickly there.
Really? I mean, Brothers Union has come out already.
Since I think just swinging 5 creatures is not something Gynoidpoet has an answer to.
Yeah, but is Elmikkino going to go for that, or are they going to try to get value off Brothers Union first and then actually just... Isn't that particularly amazing? No, take the Overgrowth Guardian, play Mozarkath. Like, your opponent has no main board wipes, right?
So I'd play the Lore Sprout. I don't think it matters here, but I think Gynoidpoet also just doesn't have any answers to this board state. Again, no main deck board wipes.
Yeah.
So even a single remove spell isn't good enough here.
Well, Elmikkino's hand just gets better and better.
Yeah, I think this is actually an error, as weird as it sounds, just because I think there's actually like no way for Gynoidpoet to... Oh, actually, sorry, Gynoidpoet could have Mirror Gate.
Ah, right.
That's, I think, the only way that they can get out of a Mozarkath fetch there.
Yeah. Well, Underpass Sentinel's going off with 2 things, get another trigger on Brothers Union. Remember, this is turn 3. Imperious Paragon.
Turn 3 Underpass Sentinels. That's good. But yeah, I think we're going to game 2 pretty quickly. Importantly, Gynoidpoet will be on the play, which is pretty important against Creature Vomit.
Yeah, definitely. Although, do they have any turn 1 plays that can react to what Elmikkino's doing?
Well, just getting like a Valor's down early is potentially important, but I think more importantly, the turn 2 plays, being able to answer a turn 1 Quidder's Companion.
Yeah. Actually, since Elmikkino didn't fetch Mozarkath, they're actually not attacking for that much.
Yeah, so actually, if Gynoidpoet can survive this attack somehow, this Performer mission, I guess they decide not to play Performer. The Performer might have been able to stabilize, maybe.
Stormbreaker is going to slowly grind down Elmikkino's board, but, you know, Elmikkino's going to swing in with their entire board, and Imperious Paragon's going to be protecting all those creatures, so really not much to do here.
I don't think this is lethal. Actually, Daisy. Daisy's dealing 7, Thunderpasses are dealing 2, and on top of that you have 5, 9.
You have Underpass playing counters on stuff, I guess. That too.
I think it's exactly lethal, or maybe 1 over after blocking the Imperious Paragon.
Really? I mean, I'm not really going to bother with the math here.
Well, 9 from the power, plus 2 from Underpasses, he attacks, and then plus 7 from Daisy.
Yeah.
Is 18. And that's not including Imperious Paragon.
Gynoidpoet knowing that Elmikkino really did have it out of this game.
Yes, unfortunately, Gynoidpoet does have 3 Violent Collapses in the sideboard.
Well, that's going to be annoying for Elmikkino to deal with.
And additionally, you have Beyond the Play is also very nice.
Is this game not over yet?
I think they're going to count it up and realize that this is lethal.
Really, it's not lethal just yet, right?
I think it's exactly lethal after the counter goes on the Paragon.
Elmikkino's not counting the Daisy just yet.
Yeah, so 3, 4, 6, 9, 10, 14, 17.
Wait, why did Gynoidpoet not block the Paragon?
Yeah, it's still exactly.
Okay.
So there are a lot of things that Creature Vomit really doesn't like to deal with on the draw. Profane Emissary being 1, a Soulbreaker after Mindfaulters being another. Even Infectious Ego on turn 4.
Yeah.
Is pretty nasty.
Definitely.
And of course, Infectious Ego, even nastier on turn 4 after Violence Collapse. This matchup.
Anyways, look at the sideboard. Does Hungering Cult come in? I don't think it does, right? Because this is not the right deck to play Hungering Cult against.
You could, but yeah, probably not great. I think on the other side, Confining Priest might be coming in here. And Denari Charm for the Violent classes.
Yeah, Denari Charm definitely, but I really don't like siding in Denari Charms because they're just so annoying to hold up.
Yeah, but you do kind of need them, or else you do kind of lose to Violent Collapse.
Yeah. Actually, what does Confining Priest even hit here? Actually, no, it hits their entire deck, but Confining Priest also easily dies, so you just give your opponent extra ETBs if that happens.
Yeah, but it does keep your opponent's removal away from your core champion things, and you have ways to protect it with... Actually, maybe Daisy's coming out here, but Underpass isn't too hard to protect it with.
Yeah. Well, looking at the starting hands, yeah, Elmikkino definitely brought in Denari Charm. Gynoidpoet doesn't actually have Violent Collapse right now. They have a bunch of pay-ups. I guess they can turn one pay-up. Pay-up's pretty annoying for a creature farmer to deal with because you're always choosing between whether to discard what they tell you to discard or give them the treasure.
Yeah, Gynoidpoet's hand is a bit awkward since the Soul Breakers are not active, but at the same time, Elmikkino's hand doesn't have any real damage in it.
You mean Elmikkino doesn't have a nut draw just yet?
Oh, yeah. But they do need a way to kill Gynoidpoet with, and Gynoidpoet will have that until to get either Soul Breakers active or Thread or Violent Collapse.
Ooh, 2 Seeks. I wonder if you play out the Seek and then play out the Seek next turn. It is putting your child at risk, but maybe you're willing to risk it because even if the child gets killed, you still get another Seek and a creature off of it.
I think you're relatively happy if the child gets struck from the shadows.
Yeah.
But
okay, they're going to go for it. And it seems like Gynoidpoet has to top deck a removal spell, or else Elmikkino's going to get 2 full value Seeks. And that's not a removal spell, so that's not looking good for Gynoidpoet.
Well, again, they still do have a number of turns until they find a Violent Collapse. And the good thing about the kind of creatures in Gynoidpoet's deck is that they do have a lot of board presence. But even though Confining Priest doesn't feel like a great card, like, you do need to kill someone through a Profane Emissary and Infectious Egos and whatnot, which is not always the easiest thing to do. Granted, they don't have any of those at the moment, but...
Well, it seems like Gynoidpoet's getting another treasure, but they can't spend their mana on anything. Gynoidpoet, after looking at Elmikkino's hand, sees that there's a second child coming down, and there's nothing they can do to stop it.
But decides to play out a Soulbreaker.
Board presence, I guess.
Yeah, no value. Fair enough, can certainly have another one in hand. It definitely has a downside of playing Soulbreaker. Even though it's such a powerful card, when you do get the ETB, you don't always have the ETB active.
They're gonna Amber Hills. They're not gonna fetch Mozkef right away. Elmikkino, no, you need to fetch Mozkef now, or else you're gonna lose it. Or you might lose it, I guess. You have 2 Seeks, so there's a decent chance you accidentally exile Mozkef if you do this. But maybe Elmikkino just doesn't care as much about exiling Mozkef as I do, because whenever I play Seek and then play a land without fetching right away, I'm always paranoid about exiling Mozkef.
It definitely happens, but at the same time it is one card.
It's one of the strongest cards in your deck, though. You only have 1 copy.
Yeah, but you can definitely win without it. It is a bit harder now after Gilo is only +1/+1, but just kind of on pure density, you can definitely get there.
Yeah, but again, Mozkef is a hedge against board wipes because it allows previous waves of creatures to contribute to your next wave.
Yeah, but especially with the new version of the deck, you do have a ton of value, with Closer Union and Underpass Sentinel being pretty big threats on their own.
Right.
So you do have a bit more over value than previous versions.
Well, I guess Elmikkino's not going to get Mozkef right now because the soldiers are going to have Summoning Sickness, and they're going to drop Overgrowth instead. And they fetch with Splendid Subterranean instead of basic planes, which is also something that I would have done differently.
It's not like you're facing much pressure against Gynoidpoet's deck.
I guess.
Like how this Soulbreaker is going to kill you with poison before damage.
And I guess it allows you to Gilo plus Daisy next turn if you really want to.
Well, there's a 10-3 Infectious Ego. Yeah, so not only is that grading on the curve, but also we'll almost only get this Soulbreaker active.
Also makes Mozkef harder to trigger.
Yeah, not willing to trade off anymore. And that's definitely a spot where if you didn't bring in Confining Priest, you're kind of kicking yourself.
Yeah, remind you to bring Confining Priest in against Mono Black if I ever play Creature Vomit again.
Did you bring in Confining Priest against Dragonfire Covenant? Or
no, because I was afraid it was going to get removed super easily. Maybe I should have, but hindsight, whatever.
Yeah. Even if you don't want to bring in all 3 copies, maybe just bring in 1 or 2 just to have the odds of hitting it off a Seek or EHS or Bellows.
Yeah. Oh, that's a nice flip. It seems like Elmikkino isn't going to fetch Mozkef anytime soon because they're not attacking anymore.
Yeah, Infectious Ego makes it pretty hard to have profitable attacks.
I mean, Denari Charm does let you attack into Ego once, so if you really want to trigger Mozkef, and you're actually pretty close to triggering Mozkef, just Like you attack, like if you really wanted to, you could trigger Mozakef next turn.
Well, we'll see how Gynoidpoet decides to play it this turn. Since this Infectious Ego could be attacking.
I mean, you attack, so it eats a token, or Soulbreaker eats a token. A good thing Elmikkino had those 2 Seek the Lost Shrouds, or else they'd be sacking a lot more valuable things right now. Mindfalter probably takes the land, although you want to force land for Daisy, so you're going to discard the Orange Shroud. Okay, yeah, I mean, your opponent has no cards in hand, so you're not playing around Violent Collapse anymore.
Well, you do have to play around it off the top.
Yeah, but it's a lot less likely, so you're not going to be paranoid about it anymore.
Really, just after Gynoidpoet plays out the Soulbreaker, you kind of know if they don't have it, since if they had it, they would have definitely played it out.
Yeah.
So attacking here definitely seems much worse. No, they're not representing anything. Though maybe just trading Infectious Ego for 3 bodies might be worthwhile. That's this Galo and this Daisy are active. You are kind of always worried about Mozakef.
I mean, alternatively, actually, next turn, Elmikkino can just stick Coralite's Aura on something and start going to town with a giant trampling attacker.
Yeah, this is one of the spots where you probably wanted to attack pre-combat, because a Strike from the Shadows being threatened on Gilo is really nasty, even if you don't have it.
Yeah.
So, much more likely that Elmikkino would just let it through, which is a good result.
You're going to swing out.
Soulbreaker doesn't have haste, right?
Right.
Attack with the second Soulbreaker seems a bit greedy.
I mean, your opponent's gonna let it through, right? So, like, you're getting pretty close to poison kill.
Well, I mean, they can just block it with the Overgrowth Guardian.
You really don't want to block. Yeah, exactly. And you also have Coralite Champion, so... Okay, they're not gonna... They don't care about Daisy anymore, I guess. But they do care about Infectious Ego dying. Huh. Well, now Gilo's off and Daisy's off, so, like, Elmikkino just doesn't care about board buffs anymore.
Well, the Coralite will reactivate Gilo.
Yeah. And I guess Elmikkino's just going to be using Daisy for its ability, which doesn't really help here because your opponent's board wipes are -X, so all you're doing is trading Daisy for a removal spell.
Well, there's the 4th land again.
Okay, there we go. So I guess fetch Mozakef, fetch a basic, play Coralite, stick the Aura on something and swing. And you win the race, right? Although the poison you're...
Not against poison.
Yeah, okay.
Would need to trade.
I guess
so maybe has to be a bit concerned about a potential Strike from the Shadows taking away a blocker. Even just one more Soulbreaker hit puts them at a place where the Mindfalter from Graveyard kills them, or off the top.
Is Elmikkino not going to fetch Mozakef? Because they just tap Vassivana, which is probably what you want to be using to fetch Mozakef. And I don't see a reason to not fetch Mozakef here.
Yeah, it might just be a bit of laziness.
It matters because you lose 1 life from that compared to Amber Hills.
At the same time, again, these Soulbreakers are killing through poison rather than through damage.
Yeah, you never know how quickly the board state can change.
That's true. So on board, Elmikkino can attack for 11.
I don't think you really want to attack here because I guess you're turning off your own Gilo now. But no, Gynoidpoet's not going to block.
I think that's fair. Like, the sapling's so low value.
Is Gynoidpoet going to get baited by the land?
I mean, there's... Could you figure out whether this will land or not?
No, right?
Yeah, because it could be a 2-drop.
It could be an EHS.
If there's an EHS, I think Elmikkino would have played it over the Coralite.
Okay, yeah.
So, but it could definitely be a 2-drop.
It could be a Gilo. That's a really likely option.
With only the sapling attacking, Elmikkino's definitely not proposing that Flick of the Clock.
I mean, Daisy's active next turn, and then...
Oh, that's true, yeah.
And then suddenly you're worrying about a lot of trampling damage coming through.
Yeah, hopefully this Amber Hills will be fetching Mozakef here.
Yeah, but now you still missed your chance to fetch with Vassivana. You're going to be using it again next turn and hitting yourself with it.
So maybe you have to play Valdez anyways. Like, you have to assume that this is a land.
Womp womp.
Because this might just be a losing board state in general. And you just have to hope that Elmikkino doesn't have anything in hand. But I guess Violent Collapse is always an out, so...
Yeah. My opponent now realizes that they've been baited. Or, no, they just realized that Valdez is not OP.
Yeah, Valdez not having the payoff text.
I mean, if Valdez lets you hit lands, then you can just name low and snipe your opponent's lands, so, you know.
Yeah, I was thinking that they meant, like, if they don't have any non-lands, they just got a card, like, with how payoff works.
Yeah, I mean, payup's actually pretty unique among targeted discard spells, just for allowing you to hit lands that way.
Yeah, having the worst case no of hitting a land is definitely useful in some cases. So Mozakef is fetched, and Gynoidpoet would firm miss, which does happen, but this is a lot of damage coming through.
Yeah.
Elmikkino side, and this daisy will be active. So, though I guess if you sacrifice the daisy, then you lose +2/+2 on your board. So the activated ability is not very useful.
It's a decent last ditch resort.
Yeah, sacrificing daisy would lose what 11 power from the board. I guess 12 with the daisy itself.
Also, attacking here isn't that good because, I mean, Soulbreaker trades with all your guys.
Yeah, trades with all your guys, and also is presenting potentially lethal.
Man, why didn't coming in clutch here?
They do kind of want to make an attack such as this Valdez isn't made relevant.
So what, you attack the Overgrowth Guardian? No, you can't attack this guy because it's blocking. Oh, Elmikkino attacks pretending that they have a Brothers Unit in play.
The Daisy buff hasn't applied yet, so this would be 10 damage coming through.
Yeah, but like, the Gynoidpoet just gets to attack with 2 Soulbreakers next turn, and if you block with Sapling, it turns off all your guys.
Yeah, and you're kind of forced to even block both, because again, the Mind Falters is lethal. Even Infectious Ego stealing stuff might come into play.
Wait, that's really bad, because Healer's Favor also cares about having guys out. So, like, if you do that block, you're losing a bunch of buffs from the board.
Yeah, I mean, there's always the top of the deck as a out.
Well, Swarming Midden, you can't attack with this thing, I guess.
Yeah, it does get you to 1 away from coalescing the Mind Falters. So definitely would have been better to hold on to the swamp to represent the Mind Falters in case you're doing an attack.
I don't think Elmikkino was going to play around that anyways, so there was really no point in doing that.
I mean, there's no reason to not hold on to the swamp.
You might forget to play it post-combat.
I mean, sure, but like, just reassess post-combat. Because now Elmikkino only has to trade with one of them. So I guess, no, they don't have MSEM active next turn. So they're still, this does put them on the ground of not only Mind Falters off the top, but also land off the top.
Yeah.
They let one Soulbreaker through.
They're going to let Daisy die, which is weird because, wait, they're not even going to trade. They're,
they just take Sapling.
Sure.
Soulbreaker, yeah, one of them lives. So now Valdez probably comes down here. No use to throwing it in on defense.
Yeah. Valdez being a big 5/4 until Elmikkino draws a card. That's going to be very annoying because that means Elmikkino wants to attack before playing all their cards out so that Valdez isn't too big. And Curse Companion is a decent top deck though because it turns on Gilo and then also gets a bunch of creatures for Overgrowth Guardian.
Yeah, it also gives some creature redundancy for Killer.
Right.
Giving 2 names instead of just 1.
Well,
Elmikkino doesn't even have 2 green sources.
No, they have Amber Hills. They have Amber Hills. They can fetch a forest with that.
Wait, they exiled the forest.
Oh, they can fetch the Sun Substratum with that, but they're not.
Wait, they have 2 in graveyard.
Wait, what? When did that thing get into graveyard?
Infectious Ego, I guess.
Oh,
so this Amber Hills is actually just dead. Oh, actually, I guess it can fetch at planes, but
see,
that's kind of funny.
This is why you always fetch before triggering the second chapter of Seek the Lost Child.
Attacks in for 6 here, and at this point, Mozikev is kind of probably doesn't end up mattering.
It might.
Yeah, that's what's gonna put on 6, it seems.
Maybe Elmikkino should have attacked with 2 things just to get Mozikev to enough counters that next turn you can maybe activate it.
Yeah, but then you have to sack something, and then you get to kind of. I guess there's no concern over a removal spell, plus a Mind Falters making Soulbreaker lethal.
Yeah.
So Profane MSA is not the draw you want. Still waiting on the Violent Collapse.
I guess Elmikkino's keeping Vasavana unfetched because they want to use it to trigger Lost Child in case they draw any.
Yeah, that's fair. So Elmikkino is representing how much damage? 11, 16, 17. And that's 8 toughness from the Swarm Midden, so yeah.
Are they just...
Actually not.
Oh, okay.
Good enough after an alt swing.
The Gynoidpoet just never drew their board wipe, or any removal for that fact.
Yeah, might just be worth passing back to see if Elmikkino tries to play around a Strike from the Shadows.
They're not going to. I wouldn't play around 1 if I was in their spot. I would just try to go for lethal.
I mean, yeah, you get punished for it, but there's definitely some people who would overthink it.
For Emissary, unfortunately not active right now because they never got the chance to fetch Polyp Pools.
Yeah, not drawing naturally, unfortunately. So from here, Elmikkino can definitely just count up the board state and realize that what they have on board is lethal, with Gynoidpoet only being at 6 life.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a bit unfortunate that they didn't manage to hit any Violent Collapses, really just any removal at all.
How many removal slots are they even running? Only 3, okay.
Yeah, Strikes and Shadows. even just like a Blood J Prophet, sometime mid game would have bailed them out of it.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
Nice.
Elmikkino is destroying all the lands. Chris pans out, I guess. How much mana do you have right now? Do you have enough mana to coalesce EHS next turn? If they have one?
Yes.
Yeah. Because, like, Creature Vomit gets to surprisingly high amounts of mana sometimes off Critta's Companion. Like, you almost get enough mana to coalesce EHS.
Yeah, definitely a use case. Critta's Companion making so much mana, and also just, like, a lot of decks not killing you that fast, especially with how many, like, obviously chump blockers you can get.
That too.
How little your opponent really wants to attack into you, as well as, like, Seathal Child getting you quite a bit of, like...
The opponent tries to block, but in the end fails to not die.
I hate it when I fail to not die.
I agree.
Yeah, just kind of a unfortunate set of games, not really being able to get any kind of threat density going on. No any kind of answers.
Wait, what's Elmikkino at right now?
I think they're 3 now.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess there's at least someone's gonna get there with Creature Vomit, so I guess Elmikkino is gonna have to avenge me for my loss.
Yeah, Elmikkino's doing pretty darn well, only having dropped 1 game this GP. But Gynoidpoet definitely can still top it. I believe this is a 4-round GP, so Elmikkino has secured top cuts. Gynoidpoet needs 1 more win.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens in the last round.
Yep.